Okay, well, we are ready to go. I got Steve on board. We'll have other people join us as we go. Let's get going. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. This is Dennis Wilbur, the Active Trend Trader. I want to welcome everybody to today's session of How to Make Money Trading Stocks. This is our weekly live streaming session on YouTube. We will also be recorded and stored on YouTube. Hey, if you're watching, this video on YouTube, or please hit the subscribe button. It's your first time on the site, and the bell. The bell will give you notifications of when we do updates on here. And if you will, please hang around to the end of the video, and I will basically provide you a link by which you can get the Power Rank Elite Watchlist for free. And I'll show you where that's at when we get there. I want to remind everybody that hey, bad habits are easy to form but difficult to get rid of. At all times, be discerning and worry what you are rehearsing. I don't know about you guys, but as I get into the new year, what I'm doing is I'm assessing what habits add to my success as a trader. What do my habits take away from my success as a trader? And I'm going to be doing a presentation probably a couple of weeks from now. I'll be posting it to YouTube about what I've discovered, because who knows, some of my bad habits may actually spill over to you too. I want to welcome Dr. Steve Ferreira he's back from the mainland after freezing his rear end off up in, was it Wisconsin or Minnesota, Steve?
Yeah, in Minnesota, Dennis.
Minnesota, okay.
When we left, it was -8.
Oh, geez. So did you go like ice fishing or something?
No ice fishing, but spent a little time outside, made a snowman, things like that.
Ah, cool. Yeah. We don't get to do that too often in Hawaii, but welcome home. We're really glad you're back with us. And if you are joining us today and you have any comments or whatever, please put them in the chat box, because I really don't pay attention to the question portion of it because I'm doing the administration and all that kind of stuff for myself. So let's get going. We got a lot of stuff to cover. A disclaimer basically remains the same. What we do is for training purposes, because I want to help you guys become better traders. Traders should always paper trade any new method prior to the risk of their own personal capital. Make sure that I'm recording this. I am. So the session we do every week is basically to, just don't just survive, but thrive in any market. My objective every week, and I know Steve shares this objective, is to provide you a professional market analysis with timely, actionable intel that clarifies, simplifies trading decisions so that your wealth and your profits can be multiplied. That's why I do what I do. I've been doing this I've been trading the markets for a little bit over 30 years through various professions, from a naval, from a naval officer to a program manager for a wireless company. But I came back to my true love, which is trading stocks and options and being a great technical analyst. And so that's what we're doing. Hey, we'll get into market analysis here shortly. What we've had a very strong first full week in the market. The market today is, I won't say showing real weakness, but it is a little bit dropping off a little bit. But dadgummit, since last Thursday, the market's been like just screaming up. It hasn't just been drifting up, it's been pushing up highly. Is that good or is that bad? I don't know. We're extended, we're overbought, we need some pullbacks. And so right now, I'm going to continue trading the pullbacks until they stop working. That's basically what I'm going to be doing. So let's take a look at some index and stock performance. And then, of course, Dr. Steve has bonus stock setup. I think today he's going to talk to us about AL. And so let's get in and take a look at it. Again, I'm very pleased with, how we're starting off the year. The market, the indexes are up nicely. With the exception of the Russell. The Russell continues to be the lagger. We'll wait and see what kind of interpretation, what we find out this weekend as I review the charts on the Russell. But we'll take a look and say, hey, you know, why is the Russell still lagging? One would think that if, you know, if the China trade deal goes through and everything else works out there, that the Russell would get on board. Now, it's not that it's doing really bad. It's just staying stuck in a trading range. Let's take a look at the charts themselves. And then I'll be looking at a daily and a weekly chart. A weekly chart is on the left. A daily chart is on the right. Okay, not Sky. Although that's a pretty nice looking chart there, Steve, on Sky. SPY, there we go, not Sky. So as we see for the last, we did a little bit of a pullback into the moving averages from the first of the year, and then it just rebounded and bounced up. One of the things that I found that was kind of interesting is the market would sell off, or the futures would sell off real hard at night when all the global noise was going on over in Iraq and Iran. And then all of a sudden, the US session would hit and it would just push the market higher, push the market higher, push the market higher. And that's exactly what we've seen over the last 5 days. You know, got the noise about the attacks, Iranian attacks on Tuesday, and then we bounced down a little bit, and then we just started pumping higher. Will Spider get up and hit their extension, this 1618 extension? That is a upside target based on Fibonacci extension off of the move from that high there to that low. That shows the final extensions. Oftentimes, in the context of an uptrend, uptrends will stall out and or slow down when they meet Fibonacci extension. There was another Fibonacci extension down here about 322. It slowed down, as you can see, but it has pushed on up through that. So that's our upside target for right now. How am I going to trade it? And basically, I'm just going to look for pullbacks. I'm looking TSI wise. We just got a little tick up. Didn't even get down to strong support area on the TSI. Challenging market to trade right now. QQQ. The NASDAQ, similar type thing. As you can see, we've been riding the 8-day moving average as we've proceeded up. Let me get rid of that fib. Move that. And it's actually approaching the upside of the megaphone top. I mean, it's not that far away. It's about a stone throw away. It's about, 10 more points to where it could actually hit up against that level. Could it hit that and break through? Sure. Could it hit that and stall? Sure. That's where, that's where we've been projecting out. I will do additional analysis this weekend to see exactly what type of a move up are we expecting. I will throw on one fib for those of you who are Fibonacci enthusiasts. And as you can see, what has happened here is we have actually blown through. See how it got up right to the 1618, slowed down, but then blew through this week, broke right through it. What's the next one above that? Well, the 2618, which is up at 258. Are we going to make that? I don't know. We could. Clearly, what the market needs is a nice little pullback because we are very extended away from the moving averages. And so a reversion to the mean would be in order. And then last but not least, IWM. Excuse me. And again, IWM as, did I look about right? Yeah. IWM was basically just posturing here for almost all of 2019, stuck in a range between 160, 145. We finally broke out of that. Its upside projection is about 175 to 173. As you can see, it is putting a little bit of a flag. It's not running for the hills. And so where do I like IWM? I like IWM if we can hold up here about the 164 level to the 160, about that 163.50 level. That's where I'd be interested in getting into a long position if we get the turnaround. As you can see from the, and I'll just show this to you really quick. Let's draw on the screen here. What I'm looking at is, see the TSI right here. It started to turn up, but then failed. And so that's showing me that that's some weakness. Weekly wise, I've got TSI extended to the upside, likely other indexes also. So it may do a little bit more of a pullback. As I said, watch for a formation that looks like this. Draw a line across the top of these highs here. And we can either go down and just make it a triangle like that, or we can actually pull it up like that and make it into a little type of a pennant. Price action breaks out the bottom. We're probably going to go down here to the 50. Price action breaks out the top. We're probably going to take out the highs there of 168. So, Steve, are you? How's that as an analysis of what's going on in the indexes?
Sorry if I had myself muted. I pretty much agree with you. I think it's the market's at a cusp. It can break either way, but like you, I remain bullish until it tells me otherwise.
Yeah. I mean, you can't turn bearish on this market yet.
No, not at all. Not at all. It's very. In fact, I lean a little bullish, but certainly, if we take out the low from on your IWM chart, if we take out the low and close below it from the low from about 5 or 6 days ago.
Yeah, here.
That would be a concerning move for me.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that. I'm kind of looking like I would almost like it to do that. Here, let's get rid of this guy so you can see the charts. There we go. I would almost like it to do that though, Steve, to get down here and as long as I'm see this area of support right here, congestion.
Right.
As long as we stay above that and or the 50, I feel good about the Russell. Now, if it blows past the 50 and breaks on down, then stand by to stand by.
Absolutely.
All hands on deck. So what stock did you want to take a look at today?
I like AL, Air Leasing, Air Lease Company. It's one of the, and I actually got into the position yesterday.
Okay.
But I think it's worth following on any kind of a weakness or temporary weakness, perhaps an entry.
Okay.
If we look at the weekly chart, I really love the weekly chart. It's been in a very strong uptrend. And this week we pulled back to test the 8 EMA and held.
Right.
And for me, the entry was yesterday on the daily chart, yesterday on price action above the doji reversal that actually tested the 50 MA and then bounced right on, touched it and bounced right off, indicating strength to me. So yesterday was an entry above Wednesday's high.
Yeah, where did you enter yesterday price-wise?
Price-wise, the entry was at 47.04, 5 cents above the high of Wednesday.
Okay, cool. So you actually got into it a little bit below the
below the 8.
Below the 8 and
Correct.
20 moving average. But yeah, that was a great. You got the reversal, you got the price action move, and away you went. And this is not a huge mover, but at the same time, what it does do is like from this move here, from this low here up to that high, you got to be aware. Hey, that's a 10% move, almost a 10% move in 23 days. Right. Not a darn thing wrong with that. And it's going in cycles. And this is the kind of stock that I like to trade also, Steve, because you see these waves. If you can time the waves and get in towards the bottom, it gives you a really nice, it's a great way to do strategic compounding to grow your account. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. And I love this stock for all of those reasons you mentioned. But mainly it's in a very solid uptrend.
You betcha.
And on any weakness, I think the probability favors entering on weakness. Yeah.
Okay. And so, yeah, I like that. When's it got earnings coming up, just to be aware?
In about a month. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, on the 14th, on Valentine's Day. So
Right.
if
right.
if you get an opportunity to buy this down around the moving averages or this moving average line or the uptrend line right there, you might be able to get your sweetheart some nice
Yeah,
roses or
sure.
something for Valentine's.
And also keep in mind, if you do it with an options trade, the anticipated increase in volatility as
You
we get
betcha.
closer to earnings should almost guarantee you a profit, if it's close to a guarantee as there can be.
Yeah, and
in
on
the-
this particular
in the
one,
market. Yeah.
the monthly options is on the 21st of
First, right?
February.
Yeah. So a week later. So it's a ideal contract to hold going into earnings and plan to
Awesome.
get out just the day of prior to the report of earnings.
Okay. Well, I'm going to show you one stock that we caught going into last year, finishing up last year, and one stock that that actually stopped me out but turned back around. So what I'm using it for as an excuse me, as an example of an example of you got to keep your eye on the ball. And the one that I'll just highlight is because we got into
RH.
No,
No?
we are
Okay.
in RH, but
Okay.
this is one that's already been, we had signed up for. It's
Oh,
Paycom. Okay.
Paycom. Yeah.
Yeah. Now we bought Paycom, believe it or not, at 257 right over here. We went up and almost hit the Keltner channel, so we took a little bit of profit there, and then it just blasted off here. And we wound up closing the rest of it out at 282 all the way up here. So
Nice trade.
Nice trade, huh?
Yeah,
Now,
absolutely.
VRTX, I kicked myself in the rear. It just, sometimes I just do that. I was watching it across here, Steve, and I was saying, yeah, gosh, we're holding this 216. I jumped into a position about here just prior to the end of the year. Just around this time. And dadgummit, and it was holding above the 8. Wasn't closing. And then it fell down here this day, took out my stop loss and rebounded. And look at that dadgum rebound.
Yeah.
What a nice move. And so this is the one that got away.
Yeah. And that's part of the game. Yeah.
And so,
We
I
all
like,
have them.
yeah. And the thing I like about like VRTX, is VRTX, while that is, that's only a 7 or 8% move. It was a wonderful option, ability option type trade, because that's a nice $15 move.
Yeah.
So anyway, so thanks, Steve, for bringing that home. Let's get back.
You're very welcome.
And we meet the IBD Honolulu meetup group meets on Tuesday this week.
This coming Tuesday at 6:30 p.m.
Okay. So it's like the old adage, be there or be square, right?
Right.
So, I want to remind you about seasonality. Seasonality is basically just something to keep along and keep in mind. And on the NASDAQ seasonality tends to be during the first part of the year, go sideways through about March. Gold, however, oftentimes catches a bid at the very first part of the year, runs through about the end of February. And so be looking for that latent seasonality strength. And so last but not least, we'll close off today. Hey, we're structuring the membership is coming for the active trend trading system. So you can save on a premium membership right now before we have any changes in price. If you're looking for a speaker for your group that wants to talk about stocks, options, or whatever, I can either, basically meet in person with the group if it's here in Hawaii, or would love to do a webinar for your in particular group. The next BAM meeting, Bay Area Moneymakers, 1st of February. January 14th is the monthly Honolulu IBD meetup meeting. And so that's what we've got going on. And as I said, end of the year, it's ending soon. These prices will be in effect for a while like that. If you are interested in that, please, basically, you'll see a little icon up here when you're looking at this on YouTube, and there'll be a link that will take you to that particular website to get hooked up for a premium membership. So that's it for today. Steve, I want to thank you for joining. I want to encourage everybody, please, keep growing the egg. 2020, I think, is going to be an absolutely phenomenal year, regardless of what the market does, because we're ready to trade it any way, any direction that it goes, which is absolutely awesome. If you're a premium member, you remember to dial in at the top of the hour for the final hour, where we'll be talking about the specific trades we've been doing this week and see if we have any setups to go into the weekend on. And that basically is it. And so from what I have to look at every day, aloha, trade well and prosper. Have a great weekend. Mahalo and God bless everybody. And if you're looking, this is the site. If you're looking to get your free Power Rank Elite watch list, after we shut off the video, you'll get a little link right up here. You can just click on that, and it will take you and get you signed up for that free watch list. So until later, aloha, God bless. Thanks a lot. Thanks, Steve.